Welcome, everybody. It's time for chapter 20 of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The Great Gum Machine. Ooh, this is interesting. I'm wondering, Miss S, can you think of anybody that I think there might be a character in here that likes gum a lot.
Yeah, I think Viola, is that the one?
Violet Bone. Doesn't she I wonder, do you think, boys and girls, that this might have something to do with Violet this chapter? Do you think she'll be important?
How do we know that? What can we use to help us know that it might be Violet?
Take some minutes to think about that. So I'm guessing some of you are thinking, because we know she likes gum so much, she's probably going to be really, really excited about this great gum machine, I think.
I think so too.
Let's dig in. Are we ready? Go for it, Miss S.
All right, The Great Gum Machine, Chapter 20. Mr. Wonka led the party over to a gigantic machine that stood in the very center of the inventing room. It was a mountain of gleaming metal that towered high above the children and their parents. Out of the very top of it, there sprouted hundreds and hundreds of thin glass tubes, and the glass tubes all curled downwards and came together in a bunch and hung suspended over an enormous round tub as big as a bath. Whoa.
Wow. That sounds kind of whack. Here we go, cried Mr. Wonka, and he pressed 3 different buttons on the side of the machine.
A second later, a mighty rumbling sound came from inside it, and the whole machine began to shake most frighteningly, and steam began hissing out all over. And then suddenly, the watchers noticed that runny stuff was pouring down the inside of all the hundreds of little glass tubes and squirting out into the great tub below. And in every single tube, the running stuff was of a different color, so that all the colors of the rainbow and many others as well came sloshing and splashing into the tub. It was a lovely sight, and when the tub was nearly full, Mr. Wonka pressed another button, and immediately the running stuff stopped running out of the tubes, the rumbling sound disappeared, and a whizzing, whirling noise took its place. And then a giant wizard started whizzing around inside the enormous tub, mixing up all the different colored liquids like an ice cream soda. Gradually, the mixture began to froth. It became frothier and frothier, and it turned from blue to white to green to brown to yellow, then back to blue again. Watch, said Mr. Wonka. Click went the machine, and the wizard stopped whizzing, and now came a sort of sucking noise, and very quickly all the blue frothy mixture in the huge basin was sucked back into the stomach of the machine. There was a moment of silence, then a few queer rumblings were heard, then the silence again. Then suddenly the machine let out a monstrous, mighty groan, and at the same moment a tiny drawer, no bigger than the drawer in a slot machine, popped out of the side of the machine, and in the drawer there laid something so small and thin and gray that everyone thought it must be a mistake. They think looked like a little strip of gray cardboard. The children and their parents stared at the little gray strip lying in the drawer.
You mean that's all? Said Mike TV, disgusted. That's all, answered Mr. Wonka, gazing proudly at the result. Don't you know what it is? There was a pause, then suddenly, Violet Beauregard, the goofy, gum-chewing girl, let out a yell of excitement. By gum! It's gum! She shrieked. It's a stick of chewing gum! Right you are, cried Mr. Wonka, slapping Violet hard on the back. It's a stick of gum. It is a stick of the most amazing and fabulous and sensational gum in the world. And that concludes chapter 20. Now, it's a very quick chapter. Again, we have a few quick ones in a row. And you'll notice, now, what is the setting of this chapter? Let's take a moment to think about that. What is the setting?
Where does it take place?
Yeah, do you think it's a good time to predict, Miss S?
I think it is.
I think they should definitely make a prediction. So jot down a prediction that you have based on what we just learned, we were confirmed that Violet is excited about this gum. What do you think is going to happen? And use what's happened in the story so far with some of the other characters, okay? All right. We're concluding chapter 20. See you later. Bye.
Bye.